Sophie, what's her last name? LaFleur? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to go check.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
All right.
I
I
think,
think we're live.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to, oh no, okay, wait, because now I need to,
Oh, the magic
okay.
of tech.
As usual, I'm making a mess. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Conversation Outside the Box from Mara. And
Elvira.
yeah, I was waiting for you to say it.
Oh, I love it.
Um,
We're so excited.
I know. And as I said to you yesterday, I just want to say the way this started because I just really love the way we are so aligned with everything all the times.
Mm.
As usual, I always wait for a couple until I have that thing like, what are we going to talk about next week? And so yesterday I'm like, okay, hey, I think we can talk about this. And she goes, no, wait, can I call you? And she and Ria started telling me about Halftime, the documentary about J-Lo that is on
Yep.
Netflix, and her story and what she talks about. And you go ahead and tell everybody what
Yeah.
we decided because that was your idea, and I was on board because I love that so much.
Yeah. So I actually just came off my other YouTube show with Lisa Kelly called Conversations to Raise Vibrations. Shout out to her. A little plug for my other show. And we talked about this exact thing because I am on fire about this concept. I want to get this online. My intention is to get these two videos from today's show to JLo's people because I believe that we can serve her to her next level of greatness and joy and grace and ease and really help her to change the planet because she gets to do another layer of healing. I don't know how much healing work she's done, but I do believe that with us supporting her, she can do another layer of healing so that she can show up even more powerfully in the world, and those around her are going to benefit as well, like her children and loved ones, and all of us. Really, we're going to be inspired by her doing this inner work of healing and growing. So I saw that, and that sounds kind of weird. Like, you want to coach JLo? Yeah. Well, here's the reason why. Okay, I
I
don't
want to
believe this
coach
is.
J-Lo.
Yeah, I know exactly. So here's the reason why I got so fired up about it, and I'm so glad that you were on the same page, Mara. Is I watched it on the weekend, and oh my God, afterwards I said to my husband, "Oh my God, I need to coach JLo." And he's like, "Yeah, you should coach JLo." But then he realized you should also coach people like JLo. So
Mm-mm.
what's JLo doing right now? Well, this is a woman who has done so much, and she has elevated. She has such a big star. She has such a
Yeah.
bright light. And yet, she, if you watch the movie, you'll see she is so dependent on her on outside validation. In other
Mm.
words, she's still waiting for her mother to validate
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
She is waiting to be nominated for that Oscar so that her mother can actually see her for the
Yeah.
first time, because she's never been seen. So if you watch that movie, you'll see that the mother was a very strict woman who had to do things a certain way. I in my world, I call her the mean girl mom, where she had to control her children, put them into boxes. You're the dancer, you're the singer, you're the, I think the other one was an athlete, right? There were three daughters, and she told JLo who she could be. Well, at a certain point, JLo just said, "F you, mom, I'm getting out of here." She left at 18, and she went off to become a fly girl on In Living Color. And so she became a world class dancer on that show. And then she realized, oh my gosh, I love to act. So she went and took some acting classes. Well, she became a really good actress, right? And, maybe not Oscar, worthy level, but again, Oscar is for a certain elite class of people that are choosing their nominees on a certain criteria. But J-Lo, even though she's not nominated, she's still a great actress.
Oh
Like, I
yeah.
I watched her in, like, Maid
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Manhattan was one of my favorite movies, right? Showing her that she went from a maid to a manager, and just showing that she broke out of that box, that Latina women can't be, doing certain things, and she proved them wrong. I'm getting chills as I say that. And so what I realized is that, oh my God, J Lo managed to break away and maybe became so famous as almost like a in your face, mom, like F
Right.
you,
Yeah.
mom, I'm going to do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is good because oftentimes Ellen DeGeneres likes to say our haters are our motivators, right?
Mm-mm.
Because the people that don't see us, they don't acknowledge us, or maybe they trash talk us, they're the ones that say, oh, yeah, you want to see me go? It's like that's what can happen. But here's the thing. I believe that if we do it from a different motivation, if we do it because it's in us to do, and it's not about us and our ego, it's about us living in service with our greater purpose. Oh, I've never said that before. Living in service with our greater purpose, we can make an even bigger impact on the planet. So I believe that JLo, because she had a mother that was a mean girl, because she had a mother that told her who to be and what to do, and basically JLo just said, yeah, I'm not going to have any part of that. She was able to do her own thing, but there's still that wounded little girl
Mm.
inside her that
Yeah.
you see, in this one scene, the family's talking about the Jets, like their football team, and they're saying, go Jets, go Jets. And then I think one of the sisters posted the article on how she got a really good critical acclaim on this movie she just launched in Toronto, actually the Toronto Film Festival where I live, and it was really positive. And so the sister put that article in there, and then right after that article, the mother said, "Go Jets." Totally ignored her daughter.
Mm.
Totally ignored that this was probably the biggest thing that she got as far as her acting goes. And that's when she was told, you could win an Oscar, J-Lo. And then when she didn't get nominated for it, she felt really hurt.
Yeah.
I do believe that she's trying to get her Oscar to get validation from her mother. And
Yeah.
here's what I believe, that when she validates herself and knows that she's enough with or without her mother's validation, that's actually when she might get her mother's validation. But
Yeah.
also, it's when she has more peace and tranquility around her art. And it comes more from a space of service as opposed to ego. I got to prove, right? That I got to prove energy is a low vibration. When you live in alignment, when, as I like to say, you're aligned, authentic, fully self expressed, it's magic, it's miracles. Things just find you. Like, I became a professional jazz singer at 51. Why? Well, because I got out of my own effing way. I used to sing
Yeah.
from a place of ego. I used to need outer validation like I needed oxygen. If you didn't tell me I was great when I got off the stage, I thought I totally bombed. I needed you to tell me I was great so that I would believe I was great. Well, guess what? That me is gone. The new me is all about living in alignment with my truth. Who am I? Yes, I'm an artist. I need to do my art. If I'm not doing my art, I'm not happy. That's why I do it, because I'm here to do that. I'm here to inspire others to do their thing as well. And when I do that, it inspires. Like I said, I'm not on stage to look good. I'm on stage to hopefully, activate you to go do your thing as well. And I hope that I help you, be entertained and healed. I actually brought some of my sound healing instruments. I'm more into helping people heal with my voice than just performing. Because why? Because this is service with my voice. This is not ego with my voice. So I feel that I'm the perfect person to help her get to her next level. And I know you've got some amazing tools as well that you
Yeah.
can share with her so we can coach her together. But it's like, she's got to realize that she's here for more than just trying to get validation from the outside, like I used to be. Not where I am now. And then magic and miracles are going to find her. Who knows? She might win that Oscar, but it's going to be from a place of no attachment, right? Like
Yeah.
me not being attached, I became an award winning jazz singer. I have two amazing jazz bands. I'm performing at an international jazz festival next weekend. Like those things found me because I'm doing it from a place of humble yet fierce service, right? So this is what I feel is something that I hope Jennifer Lopez can see there's value in it for her. And other people that are watching that feel like, oh my God, I've been held back by my parents. I've been held back by my mother, my schooling, my house, my husband, whatever. You're here to live your truth. You're here to get to the highest levels of yourself, to be aligned, authentic, and fully self expressed. Only then will you be truly happy, healthy, and make the difference you were born to make on this planet, and wealthy too. So you're able
Yeah.
to create money when you're doing what you're truly meant to be doing. So I want to hand it
Amen.
over to you and hear
Amen.
your thoughts.
Amen.
Yay.
No, no, I totally agree with you. What I think though is that because she became so successful and she kind of, I mean, she broke so many barriers for
Yeah.
women of color, for
Yeah.
the industry. I mean, the fact that she got out of the box of being just a dancer, then she became a singer, and then she became an actress, and then she's an entrepreneur, and she does so many things. It's
Yeah.
something that, as she says, this is doesn't happen all the time. I feel that she doesn't see this part of being controlled by your mother, because
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
success has been there. And a lot of the times when you talk to healers or coaches, especially when you're not being that successful, then they can help you work on that. While when you become that successful, you can see how much glass ceiling you're breaking, and
Yeah.
you keep going, things are happening. She talks a lot about manifestation,
Yeah.
but she doesn't see that. And
Yeah.
with the fact that she has a structure a little bit like ours, like the Italian, very Latino,
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
here, family
You can
there,
only do so
there is
much.
so
Yeah.
much
Yeah. You're
codependency.
in the freaking box, right? We're outside the
Exactly.
freaking box now. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And so she doesn't see that, but like, if you understand that, you catch a few bits and pieces in the movie where you're like, ah, okay, I see that, I see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And the moment she realizes that, as you said, the detachment from the outcome, but is more about opening her heart and doing the
Mm.
healing, and forgetting about what her mother
Yeah.
wanted her. Because the thing is that, and I relate my experience here, I had no idea until I had to face that fear, that what was driving me before was this fear that I wanted to prove to myself and to my mother, without
Yeah.
really understanding that that was what's going on for me, that I could be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was driving me, this fear that she will always sabotage my life, and also she will never really appreciate me for who I am.
Yeah.
Those things were so beneath the surface for me that I got to a point where I didn't think they matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And instead they were full on there. When I moved
Yeah.
back to Italy, they were right there,
Yeah.
like,
In your
hey,
face to heal.
yay,
To heal.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel that because she became so greatly successful, this is not something that she even thinks of, because everything
Mm-hmm.
is fine. She has
Yeah.
control over her life,
Yeah.
obviously. And this is so subtle instead. The
Yeah.
control that her mother has on her and probably
Yeah.
her children, and is so
She,
subtle
yeah.
that it's very difficult to heal, to see, and therefore you don't even think you need to heal.
Yeah. It's
But
true.
for me, this also plays out in the relationships, and
Yeah.
this constant research for someone to love that will love you in that
Yeah.
kind of way.
Yeah.
And always, of course, then if you're in the showbiz, there is more possibility to meet other people, and fine, whatever. But to me, it's that beneath the surface, that it's so subtle, it's so deep, that needs to be seen
Yeah.
and
Excavated. Yeah.
released,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think she could be even more than she is,
Yeah. And
and
happier.
happier.
And her kids are going to be happier
Yeah,
too, right? And
yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah,
around her. Because right now, J-Lo was mean girled by a mom who, guess what? Wanted to be an actress when she was little.
yeah.
So J-Lo activates her when she's doing her
Exactly,
shiny stuff. And
exactly.
the mother feels like a nothing. And therefore, the only control she has is by judging and controlling her family. If you watch the movie, you'll see this really, really well. And J-Lo is just like, okay, mom, do your thing, right? But she pretends she doesn't care, but deep down she cares, because I do believe
Yeah,
she hasn't done the deeper work to
yeah,
release that sense of needing her approval, to realize that she is enough on her own. If she realized she was enough on her own, Mara, I truly believe that she wouldn't be. Apparently, she's been called a bitch. God bless you, J Lo, if you're watching this, but she has been called a bitch. Why? Because she also needs that control, because her mother controlled her. So I believe that if J Lo went deeper and did the work and released the shame and the pain and all the stuff she needs to release about growing up and her mother and not being seen by her, if she released that, she would show up very differently for her family, for the
Yeah.
people she's working with. And that's what I want for her. I want her to have an easier life. I want her to have a more joyful life. I want her to have an even more successful life where if she gets the Oscar, it's like gravy, but it's not the main course, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's nice to have, but I don't have to have it, right? Because you don't need that outer validation like you need oxygen, right? And so I understand this dynamic so well because I lived it. I lived out of alignment and I was a crap magnet even as an artist. Today I'm a miracle magnet as an artist, right? And like her, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actor too, right? So this is what, when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, I need to coach J Lo, right? Because I have gone to the place where my mother, I did a jazz show a couple of weeks ago on a world class jazz stage. I invited her to come. She said, "No, I can't come." And I'm like, my mother can't see me on a stage. It bothers her to see me on a stage. It must trigger something in her that she
Yeah.
hasn't lived
Yeah.
her
Yeah. Yeah.
dreams
Yeah.
either. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I still love her. We have an amazing relationship because I healed that part of needing her validation. Mic drop.
Yes. Yes.
That
Yes.
is what I've healed, and that's what I can help her heal as well.
And this is big, and this is the reason why I feel so many people, even celebrities, have this problem. Like, I want to also, if you look at the documentary with Lady Gaga, for example, or if you think about Amy Winehouse, although stories are very different,
Oh, yeah,
how families are so controlling to a point where either you self-destruct yourself,
yeah,
or there are other ways. Of course, you have this constant
yeah,
need to, you're going to be amazing, you're going to be successful, you're going to be who you need to be.
yeah,
There is
yeah,
this constant need to do this hard work,
yeah.
this, be always on the go. And I know that's on a soul level. I remember I had an Akashic record reading in 2019, and I was like, when am I ever gonna heal this relationship with my mom? When is she ever gonna stop being against me? She said to me, "That's what you see on 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 this planet, but on a soul level, she's pushing you to be your
Yeah,
best self."
exactly.
Which is true, and you see what that's the reason why so many women become so extremely successful,
Yeah,
because they're pushed to validate themselves in order to be validated.
yeah,
But it's when you stop to seek for that's like success comes to you without even having to
yes,
make an effort for it.
that's
Things
it.
just happen to you, and there is no longer that situation where you're like, she said something like, yeah, don't talk about too much about the Oscar because I don't want to jinx it, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You won't need to do that, because it's just going to be a natural flow. It's just like you are going to be in your natural flow because you're healed.
yeah,
Everything within you is in peace, and everything that you're doing has a purpose. That is the reason why you're here.
yeah,
And everything comes to you, and it doesn't matter what
yeah,
you do or how you do it.
yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
Divine timing, absolutely. Oh, Mara, you just speak so much truth, and I just feel so settled in my body just hearing you speak. And she so needs you, right? She needs both of us, right?
She
Like we
needs
can
both
be
of
the
us.
we can be the dream team that can serve JLo. Honestly, I'm putting that out there. If anybody knows, anybody watching this
Yes,
video
yes, yes.
knows JLo's people, please share this. Let them know that we are up to serving her, and we can do one free session if that's what she wants to experience our magic. But we would love for her to see us as maybe the little, angels in her back pocket that can come out and support her when she's struggling, especially around this piece with her mother, right?
Yes.
And that affects many areas of her life as well. So I feel like, it's just important to have people on your team that really, really get you and see you as more than how you see yourself, and can give you like the back end view of your head that you can't see, so that you're able to see more clearly. This is why we have coaches. This is why we have mentors, because oftentimes, like you said earlier, like she can't see it because she's in it, right? Or as one of my miracle mindset mentors, the people that facilitate my program, says, you can't smell the shit when you're in it. Like if you're in it, you can't see it, right? So that's why
Yeah.
we need mentors and coaches to help us to
Yeah.
see what we can't see. And I feel like you and I would be able to take JLo to a whole new level of happiness and growth and success and peace and prosperity. And then if that Oscar is meant to find her, it will. It will totally find
Yeah.
her. Do
Oh
you agree,
yeah. Oh
Mara?
yeah. Yeah, and I also think she's gonna open up to a lot of different kind of opportunities, because I feel like there is way more that can come out of her, but there
Yeah.
is always this dynamic, which also, it's also helping her not to use this dynamic on a subconscious level with her children, because I
Yeah.
know, her daughter sings with
Yeah.
her and all of
Yeah.
that, but as much as the situation is different, is to avoid to pass on those
Yeah,
energies
exactly. This is why we do the
to
inner
the
work so our children
exactly.
don't get affected. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I can see little Emmy becoming way more happy and grounded and not affected by the mean girls outside of her, because she's going to come up to mean girls, right? She lives in LA. There's all sorts of mean
Oh
girls.
yeah.
Our job is to take off any sign on our back that says kick me, I'm a victim. Because if we don't tear off that sign, that's the sign I had to tear off at my rock bottom. If you don't tear off that sign, you will be kicked by the mean girls and the mean boys. But when you learn to take your power back and without that sign on your back, then you are able to be a miracle magnet. And this is the
Exactly.
work that I've
Yeah.
been brought. So I believe that if she was to truly get that she's got Teflon to her mother, nothing her mother says or doesn't say is going to affect her, then J-Lo can actually pass on a bigger legacy to her daughter, where her daughter's not affected by the mean girls either. Imagine how great that would feel.
Yeah. 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 Especially because, like, it doesn't matter how successful you are, you always have this thing where you're not worthy enough
Yeah.
of something. That
That's
could
our ego.
be,
Our ego
you know,
wants us to believe that. Yeah.
exactly. That could
And
be
it's
an
bullshit.
Oscar,
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
whatever else, that could be love from a partner. And there's always this pattern that keeps playing up somehow, somewhere, where you can actually feel free and at peace with yourself and safe with yourself. And it doesn't matter what happens, things will
Yeah.
come to you, the right people will come to you, and
Yeah.
what you create and who you have around is aligned to who you are.
Yes.
There is no
Yes.
need to control. Like, what you see there also in the documentary is a lot of control, and she's a hard
Yes.
worker and she's
Yeah.
amazing and whatever,
Push,
but there
push,
is a lot
push
of
energy.
control.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So there's a way
Exactly.
to do
And
it.
yes, of course,
Sorry.
things happen because you make them happen, but at the same time, you need to also be in that more feminine energy where you allow
Flow.
things.
Yeah. Sorry, Mara. You're frozen. Oh dear. I hope you come back. It's your internet. Is it my internet? I don't know. Oh, there you are. You're back
Okay.
again. Okay.
All right.
Gotta love Zoom. Yeah, totally. I love what you just said. And it's about, yes, you can push. You can be in that male energy, push, 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 where she's been for so long. But then you can also be in that beautiful female energy where you're just being your highest vibration self, and the miracles find you. As I like to say, get out of your own
Exactly.
effing way. Fear and ego, your miracle life awaits. What's your miracle life? The life that you're meant to live, the life where everything comes to you. You don't have to go pushing. And there's got to be a balance, right? You got to have male and female energy, but it's for her to realize she has access to this divine feminine goddess that's in her. And
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's where I would love you and I to get her to be, so that she can have even more success and more health and love and joy and all those great things.
Yeah. And also, the more she gets elevated, the more people that are following her are getting elevated, because when you're
Yeah,
inspired by certain people, you want to do the same. When you hear people
exactly.
that have been doing a certain kind of work, you want to know more. You want
Yeah.
to understand how. But I remember you were feeling this way. You were talking about certain things, and now you feel this way. You're talking
Yeah.
about, in this way, about those things I want to know, because
Yes.
I've been
What's
in
the
your
wisdom? What's the
situation,
wisdom?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the more those people get elevated, the more other people get elevated, and that's how
Yes.
we can actually change the world
We're
in
all
the best way
connected.
possible.
We're all
Yeah, yeah,
connected. And a
absolutely.
rising tide lifts all boats, right? We lift each other by us getting to the next level. And I love that you said that, because you and I are actually part of this global group of people that are looking to bring 11 global retreat centers to the top 1%, people like JLo, to the planet. And we're just looking for those final investors so that we can make this thing thing happen. And it's all about doing our inner work. So imagine J-Lo, coming to our beautiful centers and getting what she needs to move out and share it with the world so that we can all keep elevating and living in our truth and not being affected by any parental judgment, any parental lack of acknowledgement. Like she literally gets to show people what's possible because she did it. She's got
Right.
a story,
Yep.
message, and magic. In other words, wisdom that comes out of it. And that's why you had to go through that story with your mother, and you're still
Yeah.
going through it,
Yeah.
is because you're meant to heal it and then help others heal from it as well.
Yeah.
So,
And I've changed completely the way I feel, the way I react, the way I do
yeah,
work, and the kind of people I attract to work with me. And and it just takes you to a complete different level.
yeah,
But to me, there's also the next thing is also I work a lot. Sometimes I have people that come to me because their mother passed away and they feel like
guilt.
something is missing,
Yeah,
like they don't know who they are and what they're doing. And when those situations happen, then you have the compassion and the grieving time, but
yeah,
you don't feel like you've lost yourself
yeah,
in that,
yeah. Wow.
because you're no longer attached to the approval of them.
Yeah,
So it's not like, okay, now where do I get my approval from?
yeah,
No, now it's like, okay, she can go in peace. I know she will always be with me.
yeah,
And now I can move on with my life in whatever
yeah,
pace that every person can go with. But for me, it's a lot of that. And this is the thing, because we always look for that kind of approval when they pass away. If you haven't
yeah,
done any healing on that, that's going to sink very
yeah,
deeply with you, and it's going to break you,
yeah,
and it's going to change you. While if you do the work, then you're more able to accept the situation
yeah,
and use
yeah.
it in your favor to move forward.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And to me, there is this two levels of work, because it's for yourself now, but it's also for your future, because
Yeah,
you won't feel there is a missing connection. There is that kind of thing where you always feel like there is a void.
yeah. It's
You
true.
want
It's true.
you if you heal, and I tell you, because I lost my father a few years
Yeah,
ago. Once you go through your grieving process, then you don't feel there is a void.
yeah. It's true.
It's like, okay, so you helped me to do whatever. Thank you for everything. I know you're there, and I know I can call on you,
Hmm.
but I don't feel like there is something missing within me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful, Mara. Let's just take a deep breath after that. It's so beautiful. I lost my father 10 years ago. He was the father that could sing like Pavarotti, but never got aligned, authentic, and fully self expressed. He died with his real music still in him. He died with cancer, mental health struggles, and a marriage in shambles. I also had a first love who was a world class musician who went on to become this big businessman and never did his music. And so he too, like my father, was told that good men are not, singing and whatever, they're providing for their families. And he had like over 100 amazing songs in him that never got recorded. He used to travel around the world with a little band called the Cranberries, and he was amazing. He could play every instrument by ear in that band, but he never recorded his own music. And when COVID hit, Mara, my first love, died with cancer, mental health struggles, a marriage in shambles. So, this to me is a very, very clear sign that when we don't do our inner work
Yeah.
and we get aligned,
Yeah.
authentic, and fully self expressed, here to be everything we're meant to be in this lifetime from a place of service, not from a place of, pushing and shame and all the things that I used to live in personally, because I was told I couldn't be an artist at 11 years old. I was told those women on stages were sluts
Yeah.
and I wasn't allowed to be me. So I was put in that box, just like J-Lo was. You're the singer, right? I was told that I was the good girl that had to get a good career and a good husband and have some grandchildren. I was in that box. And I tried to do it for 27 years. You were stronger than me. You broke out of that box a lot quicker. But I lived there for 27 years. But at the end of that career, my 20-year, rock star pharmaceutical career, making six figures, I had a breakdown, and yet
Yeah.
it was my biggest breakthrough. Depression, anxiety, and panic disorder, being bullied at work, being bullied socially. I realized I was the common denominator. I was gifted with a system to get me out, where I did get to become a jazz singer at 51. So my daddy's in heaven, and I know he's smiling down on me. I know
Yeah.
he's always there.
Yeah.
He's not judging me for having become an artist, because I'm not just an artist. I am all things, right? Like my six-figure men's coaching program is called the Renaissance Man Unleashed, and the tagline is, why be one thing when you can be all things? Like, if it's in you, it's in you
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
reason, and it needs to come out and serve the
Yeah.
world. So
You
my
need to use
father,
all of your colors. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of your color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. All the crayons in your crayon box. And my father, if he had been fully self-expressed, Mara, he might still be here right now. Who knows, right? Because his purpose, which was to be an artist, burned a hole in his soul, and it affected his cells. This is what I believe. And
Yeah.
I want others to get this, so that they don't have to do what my father did. My father showed me what not to be, so that I get to have the wisdom of having lived another way and having gotten, my happiness. And I don't care how successful I am. I'm not even going to call it successful life, but I am getting, applause, like awards, and getting to be on jazz stages. I'm not looking for it. It's finding me. That's
Yeah.
flow. And I
Yeah.
want this for the world. I want the world to realize, at least heart-centered humans, creative, heart-centered, kind humans that have been in the dark. I want them to get that they too can get aligned, authentic, and fully self-expressed, and have things find them. They can be miracle magnets.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, when like I do a lot of emotional healing, and this is the thing, like physical stuff come up when you don't do the healing, because the emotions that are repressed at some
Mm-hmm.
point are going to become something physical.
Yeah.
So when you do that kind of healing, then you also open up your heart, and you start to be the person that you're meant to
Mm-hmm.
be. And
Yeah.
and my program is called Discover Your Three Colors for that
Yeah.
reason. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have so many colors, we have so many shades, we need to be able to
Yes.
use them however we please.
So
We are a
beautiful.
work of art, and we are meant to use this for the greatest good of all. And stop limiting ourselves, or
Yeah.
stopping allowing other people, other situations limit us. But the thing is that we also need to understand when there is something that is limiting us, because when
Yeah.
we don't, and we don't know it, we just don't know it, we keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, like learning to understand what is actually limiting us, so we can free ourselves and be our authentic self,
Yes. Yes.
and
Oh,
create
I
whatever we
love
need
it.
to create.
I love it. This is so beautiful. So yes, this is what's available to all of us. And I love that you do colors, and you're wearing this beautiful, colorful dress right now. I just love it. And yeah, so we invite anyone that knows JLo's people, or JLo personally, please share this video with them. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Conversations Outside the Box with I don't know, is it Mara and Elvira, Elvira and Mara? I don't even know. But anyways, it's one of those. And we are just here to serve, and we're here to serve those we're meant to serve, through our story, message, and magic. And this is why we need coaches and mentors, because we don't know what we don't know, and we need to lock arms with those that can support us. This is what I believe.
Yes.
I wouldn't be anything without my coaches and mentors and healers.
Agreed.
And this is what we need on this journey. If you choose to be on this journey, you can't do it alone. You can do a little bit alone by reading books, taking programs, but unless you actually apply
Yeah.
what you learn to your life, it's not going to change. So I'm so grateful that we've had this conversation today, and fingers
Yeah.
crossed that they reach out
Yes.
to us. So
Yes, 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 yes. It's gonna happen. So whoever
yes,
knows, like, message us, send us
message
messages,
us.
let
Yeah,
us know, may send comments,
yeah,
share it with as
yes,
many people as possible,
yeah.
and we'll
Who
keep you
knows,
posted.
right? Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Well, in today's world, right, things go viral. And if someone says, I love what
Exactly.
these ladies are doing, I love JLo, I want to see her get support to the next level, they might feel like they can tweet this out and someone can find us, because this is how you get found. You get found when you're out there and you're sharing your truth. So that's what we're
Exactly.
doing.
Exactly. Exactly. So if it's meant to be, it will be. So
Yeah.
we're waiting for JLo to give us a call.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing, Mara. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody
All
who
right.
watched
Thank
today. We're
you.
so grateful. If you have any questions, reach out to us if we can
Yes.
support you. And yeah, thank you.
If you're watching this on YouTube, we have all the notes below in the comments, so you can reach out to Elvira, you can reach out to me, you can join the Facebook group Discover Your True Colors to come join us live and make comments. And we have this every week, every Wednesday. So just come with us, join us, and let's grow this community. And let's help as many people as possible to get outside the boxes and to free ourselves.
Yay.
All
I
right.
love it. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. All
Bye.
right. Ciao. Bye.